So there is this love flowing between p- parents and children, children and parents. So we had a very harmonious family. One thing I can tell you is that every committed Islamic family, there is a culture that governs us. And you realize that it doesn't matter your exposure, it doesn't matter your experience out in the world, it does not change the fact of the let me use the word, the ideas or the ideologies, that the philosophy that governs what you do as a family. So you go into the society, you're going with a mission. You go into systems, you go with a mission. You go into business transactions, you go with a mission. And that mission is, don't allow the world conquer you, you conquer the world.
Yeah.
So from there, around the age of 12, I started going for Islamic training as a militant.
Okay, so can you just help us understand how that works? Is that something that is by default people who are Muslims go into, or is it like you have to be chosen? Is it like a
It's
special
something that is always thrown at every family, a Muslim family,
an option?
an option. And if you want to really be a defender of Islam, you will really desire it, because that is the best thing. Remember that your craving is to behave like the Prophet. And there are certain truths nobody can deny. The way the Prophet Muhammad lived his life and the Sahabas, and how they were able to conquer territories and brought people to subjection to Islam.
So are you saying then that that option is also offered to Muslims in the West? It's not just something in
No, no,
Nigeria.
no. It's all over the world. There are sect of Muslims that go into the parliament. They don't go into the parliament for to seek for just law. No, they seek
They're
for
militant.
yes, they seek for a law that will enhance Islamism. It's going on in Europe. It's going on as I talk to you right now. It's going on, and they are breeding very fast. In the late 80s, there's one of the books I wrote. I won the West. At that time, it was minimal, but I said, watch it, because I was part of the people. They bring out the agenda. They teach us. This is the agenda. This is the agenda of what we want to accomplish in 10 years. This is what we want to accomplish in 50 years.
So they think in decades.
Yeah. Now they look at the population, they look at where they are. They look at and say, okay, this place is 10,000 people and our population is 1,000. How do we, because they know the power of numbers. So they now initiate the process of mass reproduction. So you realize that instead of giving birth to two, one person, one Muslim family will give birth to 12. The birth of that number is not that they don't know the liability, but they look at the goal of getting the number to dominate. And the moment they are able to dominate, they bring everybody
Under.
under the Sharia law. So coming up, it's a pride for me to become a member of the militant. So we were taken away to outside the city. We go into a desert place for training. And so we come back home in the evening. Our parents are so excited, very happy. We began the guerrilla training, the drilling, the military.
Wait, are you telling me that this is also happening? This sort of training will be happening in the UK?
It's going on. It's going on. The thing is, we are so discreet that a lot can happen in this room that can blow up everywhere in this city, and you will know. One thing I can tell you is that the Muslims are good in keeping information.
Wow. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, very good in keeping information. Extremely, extremely very good. So coming up, I went. That was how I learned military training. I didn't go to military school. I learned man of war. I didn't join the Boy Scout. I went to Islamic military training for the defense of Islam. And it was the most glorious thing. We contributed our resources. Our parents gave us the support, bought our uniforms, our boots, the instruments we were using, our donations, and all of that. Our parents were giving it to us because they are proud that we are coming up for the defense of Islam. And basically, psychologically, you are influenced that if you die for the cause of advancing Islam, there is the greater part of your reward. So the Malam gives you such a picture. For instance, one lady in heaven, if Allah should open the heaven for you to see, for her to smile, just one of her teeth alone is able to seduce you and you get lost. So we see this picture. That's the one part of the reward. And these are the rewards Allah will give to you in Al Jannah. So we go. So I did the training, come back, and it took us a number of few years for those training. And you build yourself in boxing, in karate, in weapon handling, in guerrilla training, and all of that. So that informed now later on forming what we call the Jama'atul Nasr Islam in Nigeria in 1976.
Okay, before I get you to explain that, you're doing all this training alongside your normal education.
Yes, I was doing that alongside.
Okay.
All
So
right.
now, can you explain that thing you said in 1986?
1976.
76.
Yeah. So that was how we got to form the Jama'atul Nasr Islam. The Jama'atul Nasr Islam was formed to protect the interests of Islam in Nigeria. It was formed to become like the militant arm of Islam in Nigeria. It was formed to be able to make sure that it also preserves the economic power of the Muslims in Nigeria. So basically, that was the group that we were ranked. So you have a captain, you have a major, you have a major general, and all of that in the hierarchy. And so I was meant to be part of the strategic team. The strategic team are the ones who develop uh, the war tactics, strategy of city invasion, strategy in Islamic invasions. And so we now came up with what is called the Islamic agenda. Young people, young men together with some elders. And it was a blueprint for over 50 years. And that blueprint is being followed to today.
So that blueprint from 1976,
Six.
that blueprint is running right
It's
now in
running.
Nigeria
It's
right
running.
now.
That's part of what you
The
see
issues
going
are,
on. Yeah.
wow. So at this point, you were still in your teens.
Yes.
And then did you end up getting involved in any kind of actual physical acts of
Yeah,
terror?
of course. You have to. At that time, basically, the Boko Haram and others kind of acts was not full manifested. Like we had more of psychological, economic, political warfare, and spiritual warfare. Okay, and so we were all involved in it. And the joy, what makes you happy actually, is when you go to the field, you carry out some boxing, and then the picture you have is you seeing yourself knocking out a Christian. Yeah, yeah, knocking out a Christian, and so or the Jew or the Western. We hated the West. The West were our main arch enemies, right? So basically, psychologically, you're already influenced, and so your thoughts have been controlled by that same spirit. So as a teenager, the most of the people that actually carry out Islamic advancements are not the elderly, are usually the teens and the youth.
Wow.
Yeah. 75% of Islamic jihadists are between the age of 12 and 35.
Wow.
Thanks for watching. If you love this video, hit that like button to show your support. Drop a comment below, letting me know what you think or what you'd like to see next.